Jeremy here with the Big Red Team. This month we are doing businesses in New Albany, Indiana. So right now we are at the Elderberry Company, downtown New Albany, Pearl and Market. We're going to go in there and let them tell us what all they have. You're supposed to like and subscribe the YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm new at this. Hey everybody, Jeremy here with the Big Red Team. Today we're at the Elderberry Company in downtown New Albany, and I'm going to let Jenny introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Jenny Watson, and I'm the owner of the Elderberry Company. We are a small business here in downtown New Albany, Indiana, and our mission is to empower families with a natural and effective way to support their immune systems.
All right, Jenny, so I know a little bit about your story, but tell everybody how this became what it is today.
Yeah, so it was 4 years ago in November that I posted on Facebook, and I said that I was making a batch of elderberry syrup, and I asked my friends and family if they wanted to try a sample of it. Now at that point, elderberry syrup was something that I used as a mom with a young baby, of keeping them healthy, keeping my family healthy, out of the doctor's office, away from the sniffles, coughs, all that kind of stuff. And so it was something that my household just lived off of, especially during the colder months of the year. And I simply wanted to share that with other people since it was such a household staple for me. So about 6 months into selling elderberry syrup out of my house to strangers at my front doorstep, I started at the farmer's market here in downtown New Albany, and that was a great way for me to get my name and my business and my brand out there to the community. And I got to a point where I couldn't make enough of the syrup in my own home kitchen, so I partnered with Mesa Collaborative Kitchen here in downtown, and they let me rent their kitchen. And then that enabled me to be able to not only sell at the farmer's market in my house, but now I was able to sell online, which grew my business in a really significant way. Mm-hmm. So it was actually 3 years ago today this month that I launched online, because being in a commercial kitchen allowed me to ship nationwide and sell online. And so I had to figure out how to ship a bunch of liquid and glass jars all across the country, and that was probably one of the hardest things I've had to do and figure out. And so my shipping department was in my garage, and we just figured out how to put that in boxes, keep it safe, and get it to the customer wherever they lived. And so while we were in Mesa, we grew probably 4 times in just 1 month, and it only took a couple. Actually 1 year to outgrow Mesa, where I really realized that I needed to have my own kitchen that I was in permanently, not just one day out of the week.
All right, so you said the commercial kitchen, you were at Mesa, you decided that wasn't big enough anymore, so you needed a space of your own. Tell us about how you got to the space you're in now, and then eventually even the space next door.
Yeah, so this place we're in right now used to be a frozen yogurt shop. And I got connected with it through the owner of Mesa actually helped me find it, which was really great how we just collaborate here in downtown New Albany. And what I really needed was a bigger way to make more volumes of syrup. So at Mesa, I was still on a stovetop with 20-quart pots. And here I made the biggest jump I've ever made from 20-quart pots to 50-gallon beer brewing kettles, which we'll be able to show you guys here in a little bit. That allowed me to make syrup a lot more volume at one time.
Jenny, so everybody can tell that this is something that you're very passionate about. You started doing it with your kids to make sure your family stayed healthy. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about just what makes you so passionate about this product in this business.
Yeah, so my mission is to empower families, and so we do that with elderberry syrup and gummies, but it was because of the way I started, and that I did not feel empowered as a mom to help my kid feel better when the sniffles came on. I felt kind of powerless and had to just take my kid to the doctor, which doctors are great, but I wanted to be able to do something that I could do in my home to help my family stay healthy. And so I get excited when I can help other people find those kind of off the beaten path and natural ways to take care of our bodies.
Absolutely. Jenny, so I've kind of seen the whole evolution of this business. I was one of those random strangers that would pull up into your driveway and say, I think I'm at the right spot. I'm here to get some elderberry. And then we've bought from you at the farmers market. We've been purchasing here at the storefront. We've bought at Coffee Crossing. I think we even bought at backyard staycations before. You've kind of evolved from the syrup. We've seen now the gummies. We do the tea. So, we've bought a lot of products from you, and we really see the benefits of all those products with my wife. I have 5 kids, and we are, consuming this stuff daily to try to make sure that we can make our family as healthy as we can. All right, so we've moved kind of from their storefront location to the other side. You can see the brewing operation here behind us. So Jenny, tell us how COVID affected your business.
Yeah, so in March of 2020, we grew exponentially. We were doing about 4,000 orders online, which is a lot of our business. People purchase from us online at the elderberryco.com. We went from 4,000 orders the month before to in March of 2020, we grew to 13,000 orders. And so that was a significant jump. I was texting all my friends and family to come work night shifts and get these packages shipped out. And so we've stayed pretty big that way. But I think that people just are starting to learn that this isn't just a winter months product, but it's an overall health and wellness product that can keep your family healthy all year round. A lot of people here, especially locally in southern Indiana, really benefit from the local allergens that kind of cause us to have the sniffles. They find that our syrup really does help with that too.
Okay. So we're here with Christy now here at the Elderberry Company. Christy, what do you do?
I am the brewmaster.
You're the brewmaster. Wait, the brewmaster here at the Elderberry Company. Okay, I gotta know, what's a brewmaster do? What do you do?
I make elderberry syrup. Come in the mornings. We use 50-gallon pots for the process. Once the water's heated to at least 200 degrees, we add all the ingredients. It cooks for about an hour. Then it's switched from one pot to another through the cooling system. At that point, once the temp is cooled below 110, we add the local raw honey to complete the process. Yes. And we serve
How long does that take?
The whole process takes about 2.5 hours from beginning to the point of bottling. The whole process could be anywhere from the 2 to 5 hours, depending on what size jars we're bottling.
We have a guy that reached out to us.
How many berries are in that, or how many pounds of berries is that?
He picks it up, we put it out in the alley in
Approximately 25 pounds.
Wow.
trash bags.
All right, so we are here to learn how the lids are put on here at the Elderberry Company. So you guys do everything basically by hand. You fill the jars by hand, you label the jars by hand, you put a batch number on the bottom of it by hand. So this is, I think, the one thing that you've bought
Yes,
to help you in the process.
Because we all had blisters and calluses on our hand from lidding hundreds of jars. So Jenny bought this for us, had it delivered, and said, I got you guys a gift. It didn't come with instructions, but we figured it out. It runs on air compressor, and it just uses pneumatic pressure to lid the jars for us.
And now you are going to
Like
demonstrate
so,
this
yes.
process.
Just hope this goes well. That? Yep. We
And
check,
that
make sure it's secure, and that's
will
how
save you from getting lots of blisters on your
Correct,
hands right
yes.
there. All right, so you started this stay-at-home mom, trying to keep your kids healthy. You're now, you've got one location in New Albany. You had to expand next door, filling 13,000 orders in a month last year. Just kind of walk us through how you've adapted throughout this process.
Yeah, so one of the coolest things about my story is that this wasn't the plan ever. And my husband and I are very family focused, and for us, the most important place for me was to be at home with our kids as they're so little. So this let me do both. I didn't intend to start this business, but what I found as this business grew step by step by step is that I'm doing exactly what God created me to do. And not only that, is that my kids are receiving such a gift by watching me pursue my dreams and goals. Like literally, like that's the best thing I can let them do is walk alongside me. So you'll see my kids with me here. You'll see my kids in meetings with me sometimes. And so they're little right now. They don't quite understand, but I'm hoping that as they get older, they'll see that wow, you really can set your mind to do something and get it done.
All right, so we were just talking a little bit about honey. So tell us one of the most interesting things you've learned throughout this process and this journey.
Yeah, so at the beginning of this whole journey, I put on my label organic elderberry syrup because all of the ingredients I was getting was organic. And so in the COVID blow up of our business, I got on the radar of the government, and they asked me if I was certified organic, and I said, yeah, all my ingredients are organic. And through that process, I learned that I can't just call my syrup organic if I haven't certified the process of the syrup. So I was taking all the organic ingredients and brewing them here still in an organic form, but I actually learned that I can't certify my syrup organic because honey, you can't tell a bee where to pollinate, and so there's no American honey, local honey that's going to be organic. Now I'm sure that those bees are in the land that we're living in right now, maybe organic, maybe not, but so that was an interesting kind of like, oh, I didn't know that, and I felt like I got in trouble by the USDA, but I just had to say, you know what, I'm new at this, so I learned a lot and I asked a lot of questions.
Hey, I'm Buffy here with the Big Red Team and Rob, and I'm here with Alexandra and Carrie. Now, Rob has no idea what elderberry is. I'm very familiar with it, but Rob, why don't you ask them the question?
I have no idea. So who wants to take that question? So what is elderberry?
Yes, absolutely. So elderberry is naturally good for your immune system. It's also good for support, immunity, joint health, respiratory health. It's grown across the U.S. It actually forms in bushes or trees as well, and it's an old remedy from thousands of years ago. So that's what it does. Yeah.
So it's a berry.
It is a berry.
And it grows everywhere across this country.
Grown on a bush. You see it in North America, but a lot of times you see it here kind of in a wild form. So some people know where it is. They might pick it along the railroad tracks or something, or they have a bush in their yard. But it's also grown across the world.
So I know a little bit more about elderberry now, but Carrie, what are the forms of elderberry that you sell?
Okay, so we make several products. Our primary product that we make and sell here is our elderberry syrup. We make that with 6 natural ingredients. We use elderberries, Aronia berries, cinnamon, ginger, clove, and raw local honey. And it's just a really clean product. We brew in-house, and it's really delicious. And it's really great for doing all the things that elderberry is so good for, but then we add so many other things that have great health properties, like cinnamon, ginger, clove, raw local honey, all help in various ways with our bodies. So that's the primary product.
So elderberry by itself, is it sweet? Is it sour?
The elderberry syrup that we make is by itself, if you were just to like brew elderberries, if you were just to kind of make the juice, it would be very tart.
Very tart.
So tart that you probably wouldn't want to just take it by itself. So that's why we kind of offset that. A lot of times, if you were to go to the grocery store and buy elderberry products, they'll have refined sugars in them. And so rather than use refined sugars, we like to use raw local honey to sweeten it, make it delicious, and it helps your body.
All right, Jeremy again with the Big Red Team. My family has tried other elderberry syrups. We have not enjoyed any of them, really, besides this one. So tell us what makes yours a little bit different than everybody else's.
Yeah. So one of the things that we do that might be a little bit different than other elderberry syrups is that we use a berry called Aronia berries in our syrup as well as the elderberries. And Aronia berries are just really super high on the antioxidant scale and really one of the highest antioxidant berries that you can find. So they add both health benefits and a complexity of flavor that's really yummy. And then we also brew our syrup in a really kind of different way. Here we use these giant brewing kettles, and that has really made a really clean tasting product. All of us noticed a huge difference when we started using the brewing kettles. It was always delicious, but it's given it a much cleaner kind of taste and something we all love.
All right, here we go. So I had no idea until I walked in here what elderberry is, and now I know thanks to Alexandra and Carrie. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Literally, I think it's a shot. Well, it's a small shot, but I'm going to give it a shot. So
I think it's a tablespoon a day is the recommended dosage.
I'm going to give it a tablespoon. Okay. Yeah, it's like nothing I've had before, period. It's really good.
We
It's
say
sweet.
it's sweet, and it should
But I
taste
can-
a little like Christmas.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yep. I can taste the tart too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's elderberry. If you want to know what elderberry tastes like, you got to come down here and give it a shot, a tablespoon.
Okay, so I have an elderberry gummy.
And
Jeremy's
I have the
got
elderberry syrup,
syrup.
which is not for your pancakes.
That's right. Think of it like taking.
Wait, it's not for your pancakes.
It is not for your pancakes.
It's
It
for
is
your immune system.
your immune system.
Love it.
So my 5-year-old has horrible allergies, and he was on breathing treatments and all sorts of things. And we started him on elderberry syrup, and he has come off almost all of it. And he does not have the cough anymore. He had a 9-month cough that we could not get rid of. We tried every doctor, everything, and the elderberry syrup actually took him off of it.
Got
So
the elderberry plus
that's
the raw.
my story. I've
local
never
honey.
tried the gummy, but here we go.
It tastes.
Cheers.
It's sugary and good. Your 5-year-old would love the gummy.
I love the gummy. Okay, so I've been waiting to try this immunity tea, which only has 5 things in it.
Yes.
4 things.
4 things.
Yeah.
Rose hips, apple, hibiscus, and a daily serving of your elderberry syrup.
Okay, so I like tea, and Jeremy's wife really likes this tea, so I've been looking forward to this. Here we go. Oh, that is good. That's really good.
Very refreshing.
It's very refreshing. I would not drink it hot, but I
Right.
love it like a cold. You just imagine kind of like a
Take a
straw
straw and
kind
throw
of,
it into
but
a
yes,
jar and start drinking.
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's very
Here
good.
with Carrie again, and then we have another product that they sell here. What is it?
So we make an elderberry kit, and it's a really great budget-friendly option for people who want to make their own elderberry at home. And so basically what we do is we take our elderberries and Aronia berries that are mixed here, we take our cinnamon, ginger, and clove that we use in our syrup, and we mix that up, and then we kind of do our ratios, and we fill up these little bags that are basically look like little, like a big tea bag. And then we package it, and we give you instructions on how you would make it at home. You can use an Instapot or on your stovetop, and you basically steep it, cool it, add your honey, and you have your own elderberry syrup.
So cool. All right. So, Alexandra, you have a lot of different products I see behind us. Tell us about some of these products.
Yes, absolutely. So we have a lot of raw local honey here. So we get our honey from New Albany honey. They're located off Corden Pike, which is about 15 minutes from here. Really cool family farm that we get to work with. So we have regular honey. We have different infused flavored honeys, which they infuse right on their farm. We also have our gummies and our dried elderberries that you can purchase. You do have to cook before consuming. You can bake with those, which is really cool. And then we also have our mugs as well, if you want to drink our tea out of. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay, so I know that you can find your product not only online,
Right.
which you'll tell us about, but your other businesses in the area, right? Where can you find your products?
Yes, so we actually have a lot of wholesalers with us, which is a really cool program. So you can find our syrup and now gummies at all the Rainbow Blossoms, Backyard Staycations, and Coffee Crossings here in Indiana and Louisville as well.